we play a codependent couple who moves to the countryside away from their community. They're in a little bit of a rut, perhaps, having issues with codependency. And they encounter something sort of supernatural, and things get freaky deaky.
Yes, everything under the surface gets brought up and exacerbated.
In a visceral way.
Yes.
Michael did not approach us to do this movie as a couple, but actually...
Well, so the first time I met Michael Shanks, our director, we were actually meeting about a different script that he wrote. And in that meeting, we just started bonding over horror movies, and he had seen The Rental, and so we just started going back and forth. And by the end of the meeting, he was like, I actually have something else that I think you might like even more. And it was the script for Together. And so I read it, and I loved it. And I turned to her immediately, and I was like, we need to do this one together.
He just sent it right to me
yeah.
without telling anybody, and was like, I think we should play
I didn't
this
even
couple.
tell Shanks. I was like, we got it. We just got to do this, and then go back to Shanks and be like, we're a team. Let's go.
We'd like to star in it. We'd like to produce it.
What did you love about this one in terms of the dynamic? Where does it take you?
I mean, we've been approached to act in many different projects together, and we're very selective, especially when it comes to acting together, because we just don't want people seeing us on screen too often where you become sick of us. But this one felt right because not only was the script incredible, but our characters in the movie have been together for over a decade, and so our real relationship felt like it could actually lend itself in a really nice way, just the familiarity and all that.
And the script was a really exciting read. Shanks did such a great job weaving in the themes into these horror set piece moments. So it all is just working together beautifully. Like this film at its core is an examination of intimacy. When does intimacy become codependency? The fears of losing one's identity within a relationship. And, but then it goes bananas, but then it's wild. It's some of the weirdest things I had ever read, but they all fueled that story. Nothing was arbitrary.
Yeah. Like, obviously at Sundance, we don't want to spoil anything, and we keep kind of talking about the movie as this like codependency story, which it is, but it's also a bonkers horror movie with insane set pieces that you've never seen in horror movies before.
Are you ever concerned you're going to have like an eyes wide shut moment where you're just working and it's like we went too deep, so deep that we can't stand each other?
I mean, when
we feared that going into this for sure.
Did we? Did you fear having an eyes wide shut moment?
No. But we knew because of just how intense the shoot was going to be, how intense our dynamic is, what we go through, that it was going to be so full on that we joked. We were like, all right, this either ends in divorce or we're more codependent than ever. And luckily it's the latter. And
well, this is why we're picky about the things that we'll act in together. We love working together. Dave's directed me twice. We've written a script together, and we have acted in other things, but it had been a minute, and we really this is the first time we've really starred in something together. And truly, I mean, during the 21 days that we were shooting this, we've never seen more of each other. We were together every second of every day, but it went great. I forget where I was going with that, except that it was great.
We had a great time. We love each other, and like we look back on that time so fondly. We're like, we miss Melbourne. Like, let's go back and just do that again.
Yes, we did leave this film a little more codependent than we entered into it.
What do you like about what Michael Shanks does with horror?
Well, first of all, he is a super talented visual effects artist. So this is part of the reason why we trusted him with this material, because we knew that we'd be going out on a limb in a lot of ways in this movie. And, you know, a lot of the effects in the movie are practical, but we also have heavy visual effects. And like, when you're doing stuff on set, you need to have a trust with your director. You're like, I'm putting my body in some weird positions, and I hope this looks cool. You know, don't leave me out to dry. But we got to watch a short film Shanks had made called Rebooted, tonally not at all the same as this movie, but it really demonstrated his skills with visual effects, all different types, and sort of his whimsy, I think. And so we went into it really trusting his visual style. And God, Shanks was so prepared. I love walking into a director's office and the walls are covered in storyboards. He had such a strong vision for this movie. He knew exactly what he wanted. What he wanted it to look like and what he was trying to say, because he himself has been in a relationship for 16 years. It comes from a very personal place, the story. So we could all really connect on that level.
And he's technically a first-time feature director, but he's been doing this since he was a kid. He's been doing web series and commercials and everything. And because of that, he's the most confident first-time director I've maybe ever seen. And to this day, I've never seen him stressed out, to the point where like I want to shake him sometimes and be like, dude, this is crazy what we're doing. Like, feel it. But he is, but he's also like, he's just so excited. He has this like childlike enthusiasm that really made everyone on set want to go above and beyond to help him like achieve this crazy vision he had.
When are you directing again?
Hopefully relatively soon. I have a script that I wrote that I haven't really taken out yet.
Can you tell us
It's a
about
fun
it?
Erotic thriller.
It might be in the erotic thriller space-ish, but I can't say too much. It's still very early on, but I'm sitting on a script that I'm really happy with.
And then what can you tell us about Evelyn? Are you lifting weights? What are you doing?
I'm lifting weights.
You're lifting weights? Are you doing push-up? What are you doing to prep for the
I'm
role?
doing push-ups.
She's
I'm doing
always doing it.
pull-ups. I'm doing it all. I've been lifting with Half Thor a little bit.
Have you started production?
We haven't started shooting yet. No, just prepping and training and all those good things. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Or is it like, don't watch the 1980s Dolph Lundgren version?
I watched that immediately. It was the first thing I did was watch that. I've been watching every iteration of it. I think it's always interesting with existing IP that is so meaningful to people because it's from their childhood. I want to kind of know all about it, and then of course we have to kind of make our own artistic choices as well. So we'll see what happens.
But half of our friends, when they see her now, they just start singing the theme song to He-Man.
Yep.
It means a lot to a lot of people.
I didn't realize how many of our
the 80s
friends.
version?
I think so, yes.
Yes, the original cartoon, yes.
Well, okay. Thank you both. Have a great premiere.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.